hello, brethren. What a wonderful day today. As today is the day I'm taking this wonderful and great opportunity, I'm going to reflect on the story of Bartimaeus. When we talk of Bartimaeus is a blind man. It's found in the book of Mark. Mark is a gospel book, and it is a gospel that was narrated of the things that Jesus did. And you think about this blind man seated at the roadside. And now this man in his life, he seated there, he used to beg. So it's found in the book of Mark. Take the word, the book of Mark. And the chapter is chapter 10, and the verse is 46 to 52. Our main theme is what did this man, what was he doing? So the main goal, we look at the man himself. He has been sitting at the roadside and he has been begging, begging. And he's at the roadside. Another thing on top of his problem, he can't see. He's a blind man. And then you can imagine his life was just to beg so that he can live. His life was just to hear people, he will beg them for this and that. In life, we live in such a life. And sometimes we have needs that are not satisfied. And then one thing that was unique on that day, as we are going to reflect, that Bartimaeus heard that Jesus of Nazareth was passing by. So the man heard about Jesus of Nazareth. And when he heard about this Jesus of Nazareth, he started crying, saying, Son of David, have pity on me. Son of David, have pity on me. So you can imagine now the trajectory of his words have changed. He has had somebody special. And this person he had the story of Jesus of Nazareth. How he performed miracle. You can imagine that Jesus, the first miracle performed when he turned water into wine at the wedding at Cana. Then Jesus healed many people. His stature and his fame spread it to the whole of Israel and to the four winds of the earth. People heard of him. And now the blind man who has been begging has heard that Jesus of Nazareth is passing by. He started crying. Let's examine very quickly. And they say the blind man Bartimaeus. They came who were coming, Jesus and his disciples. They came to Jericho, and as he was leaving Jericho with his disciples and a sizable crowd, Bartimaeus, a blind man, the son of Timaeus, sat by the roadside begging. On hearing that Jesus of Nazareth, he began to cry out and say, Jesus, son of David, have pity on me. Jesus, son of David, have pity on me. So you can imagine such a farming word, such a reaffirming word. Jesus, son of David, have pity on me. And many rebuked him. You can imagine that when you are seeking something in life, when we seek something, some people are going to tell you, you can't do it. It's not going to listen. They are going to dismay you. They're going to put you down. They want to shut you down. But what this man did, he continues to cry because he had a need and he had faith that Jesus of Nazareth will do an extraordinary thing. Let's examine and say. So these people rebuked him, telling him to be silent. So in life, there are going to be nares who are going to say, you can't do it. You don't have the capability. You can't manage because that is the human nature. But Mayo, on the other side, on the other hand, he said, I'll push on. He started crying, Jesus of Nazareth, have pity on me. Jesus, son of David, have pity on me. So, Jesus, you see, on hearing that Jesus of Nazareth, he began to cry out out and say, Jesus, son of David, have pity on me. And many rebuked him, telling him to be silent, but he kept calling out all more. He didn't keep quiet. He didn't stop. Because they said, you can't do it, you don't stop. Because they say, you are not capable, you can't stop. You push on moving. You push on doing what you like, and you eventually achieve your greatest potential. That's what Bartimaeus did. That's what we should ought to do in our human nature to achieve the greatest potential that we seek. So Bartimaeus continues to cry out the more, Son of David, have pity on me. Jesus stopped and said, call him. So now that he has cried more, what did Jesus do? Despite his disciples, despite the rebuke, he stopped and called and said, call him. So they called the blind man, saying to him, take courage, get up, he is calling you. So now his desire and goal was that Jesus of Nazareth have pity on me. Jesus, son of David, have pity on me. Jesus now has stopped. Imagine now the thing you were looking for, now the person you were waiting for has stopped now, is calling you. Huh? Take courage. He's calling you. He's calling you. He threw aside his crock, sprang up, and came to Jesus. So he left everything that he was afraid of. What he was clinging to, he just said, enough is enough. I'm going to let this go. He stood up and went directly to Jesus. Jesus said to him in reply, what do you want me to do for you? Now the man has been crying, Son of David. Jesus doesn't know what he really wants. But the man became more specific. It's like when we project our needs and goals, we must be more specific. This is what I need. This is the most important need that I need. Now Jesus has asked him directly, what do you want? What do you want me? So he's crying, have pity on me. But in what sense? How? What do you really want? And Jesus says, what do you want me to do for you? He said in Rebel, what do you want me to do for you? Now, what you have been crying around. You have been crying nonstop. Now you are having, what do you want me to do for you? You go to the doctor, you're going to see, you're complaining, oh, I have pain, I have this. And then the doctor says, what do you want? I just want treatment. You go to church, you want something, and the church asks you, what do you want the church to do for you? You say, the church I want the church to baptize my child. So that is a question that Batmai was asked to do. You go to court, you want to ask the church, what do you want the court to do for you? You can't just cry out voicelessly, a voiceless one, without a specific need. So if you go, either you're going to court, you're asking the court, this is my problem. I want the court to hear my needs and solve my problem. So that's what Jesus exactly did. Patmayo. Let's see what Patmayo now response is. The blind man replied to him, Master, I want to see. Imagine you are standing before the judge in court. You have been crying. Oh, this person has been exploiting me. This person has been squandering my resources. Now the judge has asked you, what exactly you want the court to do for you? And now Patmayo rises and says, Master, I want to see. You can feel that sense of calmness. You can feel that sense of responsibility. You can feel that sense of fulfillment. All he wanted, I just want to see. Jesus told him, go your way, your faith has saved you. Now, Jesus, in calmness and in a voice of command, he said, go your way, your faith has done what? Your faith has saved you. Immediately he received his sight and followed him on the way. So the man did not go. After receiving sight, because Jesus says, come and sell all you have. Look at the blind man, the rich blind man in the Bible. He goes to Jesus and asks Jesus, eh, what must I do, great master, great teacher, so that I can inherit the kingdom of heaven? Jesus, looking at the man, he says, keep the commandment. He reads the commandment. The man says, I've all kept this throughout my youth. And then Jesus looked inside the person and said, go and sell all you have and come and follow me. What did the man say? He cried, said, oh man, my own sell all my richness and just come follow Jesus. But imagine Bartimaeus, a blind man, a beggar, seated at the roadside. He has heard that Jesus of Nazareth is coming. Then he's passing through Jericho with his disciples and a sizable crowd. And then when he sees that he's near, he seizes the moment and says, he started crying out, Son of David, have pity on me. Son of David, have pity on me. So when he has received it now, what he wanted, has been asked, what do you want me to do for you? Master, he says, I want to see. Then Jesus looking inward and says, go your faith has saved you. You can imagine that word, that calmness. But the man did not leave. He followed Jesus. Unlike that rich man who wanted just the kingdom of heaven, he thought that it was just easy. That's why it's written. It is very difficult for a rich man to enter heaven, for it will be possible for a camel to pass through the hole of a needle. My friend, you think of Bartimaeus in our daily life. Bartimaeus has great moral lesson that we learn from. He's a man of faith. Number one, he has faith, unquestionable, unstoppable faith. How? Look at the way he's rebuked, he's dismayed. He's told you can't do it. But he says, Son of David, have pity on me. Son of David, have pity on me. Son of David, have pity on me. He continued to raise his voice. Despite the say nares, despite their rebuke, he never stopped. And then what does this man, Jesus does? He stops and says, call him. And then the disciples say, they tell him, have courage. He's calling him. And then when he comes to Jesus, he throws out all he had and says, and then seeing, hearing Jesus, he says, Jesus asked him, what do you want me to do for you? Then at that moment, Bartimaeus rises and says, Master, I want to see. Master, I want to see. So we never rest until we achieve our goals. Despite achieving what they wanted, he didn't run away and say, think of the 10 lepers in the Bible. And they were passing by. And then when they saw Jesus, they went to Jesus. And what did Jesus tell them? Go and show yourself to the priests. He just gave them a command to go and show themselves before the priests. So they went. When they got healed of their leprosy, only one came to Jesus and said, thank you, Lord. The rest were unthankful, unmindful, unaware of their needs. We should not just get what we need and run away. We should appreciate, we should acknowledge, and then continue the journey. Brethren, today we were studying about this blind man. And one thing we have seen about him is faith as a critical component for his healing. Faith, you must be consistent. It was consistent, it was consistent, consistent, consistent. He didn't change his needs. He said, I want to see. Have pity on me. Have pity on me. Son of David, have pity on me. And then when he's rebuked, he doesn't fear. He continues, even cries out because he had faith that he has had somebody special, somebody who will do great wonders to him. Think of the woman, the Amoritic woman in the Bible. She was preaching for 12 years. What did she do? She visited all that in a hard time for treatment. She sought treatment and spent a lot of money. But when he heard that Jesus was passing by, because she had faith in Jesus, she had believed in Jesus, she had believed in the power of Jesus Christ, that he believed that if I can touch the cloth of Jesus, I can be healed. Exactly that woman. When he touched Jesus, Jesus felt the strength leaving him. And when he tells the disciples, somebody touched me. And the disciples start to hug and say, Master, there are many crowd of people here. Each and everyone is passing by. But Jesus sensed that the need, the power of healing left from him and went to that woman. And the woman trembled before Jesus. Jesus acknowledged the faith of that woman. Brother, let us have faith in the least we have. Let us not grow dismay and faint in our faith, but our faith should guide us as a pillar of who we are. We should not give up. We should fight the end of things. And despite that we achieve what we are, we continue to keep the faith. We keep the faith until the end of time. So, present, stay tuned and be the Bartimaeus of our time. Thank you and God bless you. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit.